teams play each other. The two with the highest scores will move on. Looks like the battle is started, so they decided to stay as their faction. So we have the Fallen Kingdom using 2 Subis and 1 Parthia versus the Kings of Crowns group, which is a Macedon, a Sparta, and an Iceni. And we are on... We'll be seeing the King of Crowns side, but I'm going to be sure to make sure not to show their armies right off the bat so one player doesn't get an advantage over the other team. Yeah, this is the map we saw before, just those couple hills in the middle allowing for good hiding cover. So pretty much what's going to happen is, or what can happen, is since this hill on the right hand side is pretty high up, you can walk your units relatively to the base of this hill, and the enemy, or the other side, won't see you. Same thing on the other side. If you walk your units up to this hill, get it up here, I know here up on the left side, I think the red line is, I think it's right here. I don't think it's any higher. Yeah, it's right here. So the highest you can get your units is in this forest, which gets you a really good advantage over your opponent. Because at that point, let me move my units out of the way. Let me minimize everything. Oh, close that. And not look at all their drawings. Okay. Alright, so this is going to be the open field here. Probably this is where the Fallen Kingdom is going to try to use their Parthia to do a lot of harassing. I mean, that's what I would do in this situation. Especially being Parthia, big skirmish unit. That's probably where he's going to try to go. What is this, deer? So probably what he's going to do, like I said, Parthia is going to move in here. And then, seeing as Kings of Crowns units here on this side, seeing as they're mostly like a phalanx army, they're probably not going to try to do anything sort of weird. Looks like one guy already readied up. 2 of them readied up. I guess I'll be ready as well. So, it's going to be interesting to see where they deploy. I mean, having 2 Subis on your team is interesting tactic. I mean, the Berserkers are really good. I actually really like the Subi just because they're sort of guerrilla style, where they just spring in and try to do a ton of damage. They're not really meant to walk forward and do a typical sort of battle, which is why I like them. They're kind of out of the ordinary. Okay, looks like we're just waiting on one more player to ready up, and I'll go ahead and let everyone know who's who and who's where, and you guys can decide who you want to root for this battle. 3 seconds, and the battle will start here. So here we go. On the north side here of the minimap, the upper left of this minimap, we have the Kings of Crowns group. They consist of Macedon, Sparta, and Iceni. And then here on the south side of the minimap, we have Fallen Kingdoms clan, consisting of 2 Subis and 1 Parthia. So it looks like here already, one of the units of Subi is deployed out of the deployment zone here, ninja style, on top of this hill to get a scout onto the army. Onager shots going in. I did not see that Onager. The Fallen Kingdoms did decide to bring an Onager. I was telling you guys this before, that they should bring an Onager because they know that this big phalanx army out of Kings and Crowns is going to be very susceptible to shots early on. And we know in a 1 vs 1, we've seen our old Supreme Champion get up to over 400 kills with this Onager, and that's just a 1v1 situation. Okay, so here already we have a strong move out of Fallen Kingdom trying to get early harasses in, trying to move up their cav for positioning here. And Kings of Crowns, they sort of know what the deal is, because they know what their army is weak against, which is the skirmish. And they know that they need to go up and take this hill and take the fight to them. So here, though, we have the cav moving up by Fallen Kingdom. They know they can't take this top, they can't give this top hill to the Kings of Crowns. If they give this up, then these phalanx are just going to easily go over the top of this hill and collapse down on their army. And bringing more horses here to support is not the best way to counter this phalanx. More Onager shots going in. Doing a lot of damage. How many kills do these Onagers have right now? They have 184 kills already, and this is only probably their 6th volley. That shot actually didn't kill anyone. Very lucky for them. Initial engage is happening here. The Spartan Pike are now engaging the Subi melee units. Pike wall now moving forward. Javelin throws, taking out the Pike wall's initial front. But they're engaging straight on in these Pikes. These Pikes will win out. And the Subi just keeps sending, Fallen Kingdom just keeps sending more and more units into the front of these Pikes, which isn't very good. But these archers are doing a lot of damage, actually. I mean, the melee units can't stand up, but if he's constantly having archer fire rain down on this Phalanx unit, he'll do well, but he needs to not engage just yet. Here on the right-hand side now, all the Cav moving in, chasing down all the skirmishing units. The Spartan units did take this hill. Cav right here, not being seen. The Cataracts, these units are very strong if they can get back charges into the into the lines of the Spartans. Now Cav moving in, hitting the archers, fighting happening everywhere. Here on the right-hand side of the Fallen Kingdoms, the Iceni are trying to move in. Still archer fire now on top of the Pikes. The veteran riders of Rabman of the Kings of Crowns group made it into the skirmish line. Noble riders now canceling that out. Going to try to take out the veteran riders as quickly as they can. But Rabman knows that he's just going to try to run this unit to take away as many archers as possible. The Subi front line is breaking. The Fallen Kingdoms units can't stand toe-to-toe against Pikes. He needs to constantly be using his skirmishers. Still more onager shots going in. Lots of battles happening everywhere. The front, this whole right front is now engaged. The left front's going to be a big skirmish. Cataphracts now going in charges in the backs of these Spartan units. But if these Spartans did turn around, then they'll be able to take out these Cataphracts fairly easily. Hopefully he pulls those out and just keeps getting charges in. Now Heroic Riders moving in. Radman on the right-hand side. The front line has broken. The front line of the Fallen Kingdoms is broken now. Kings of Crowns can now just move in. More units getting sent into the front, but it's just one. He's sending in lone units. There is no front line here for Fallen Kingdom. They're trying as hard as they can to get nice charges in, but it's not enough. This unit not routing with 12 men left of the Spartans still not routing. Right-hand side, the Fallen Kingdoms units, they're sending them in, but there's not any support here. This Onager unit getting tons of kills, already at 350. I just feel a lot of these skirmishers aren't engaging. They needed to engage and skirmish a lot longer, and the Kings of Crowns knew that, so they just went ahead and charged in. Cataphracts constantly trying to pull out and charge to break these Spartans line. The Spartan King is in here. Leonidas is inside here somewhere. And if they can take him out, it'll be a big blow, and then he can charge the backs of all these Spartan units. But the Spartan units just keep moving forward. Now they're trying to pull off the skirmish tactic I feel like they should have done earlier into the game. Using all of your arrows, if you're going to commit to having this much skirmishers, I feel like they needed to engage a lot sooner. The right-hand side now, a lot of these units just sitting pretty, trying to get a collapse in. Here, I mean, if they could collapse in right here and push in, they could technically surround the whole army. The only problem is the front of the Fallen Kingdom is just skirmish units. They can easily just walk through them without having any fear of anything. Yeah, I'm streaming. Without having any fear of moving around. So, I'm not too sure. There's little skirmishes happening everywhere. The Roman units just cleaning up all the Cataphracts. Cataphracts didn't do enough damage, I feel, to make themselves worth it. Parthia's units, also his archers, I mean, he deployed in the right spot where I knew he was going to deploy, but I don't think he sent forward his archers soon enough. Radman bringing tons of cav, so it looks like Radman was the one to just bring all the cavalry, while Macedon and Sparta just brought the whole melee units. Radman now trying to catch these horse archers with his cavalry, and if he can do it, then all this cavalry will just go down. They don't have the melee defense or melee attack to stand up to any sort of cavalry charge. Looks like the King of Crowns units, the Macedon, is now just moving up, now engaging the general unit of one of the Subi's factions. And I feel like it's just going to be cleaning up now for King of Crowns. The only reason I say that is I feel like they had a good chance to win this, Fallen Kingdom. But King of Crowns collapsed too quickly. They knew that they were going to get, or they knew that the weakness to their Phalanx army is to get constantly harassed. And in order to counter that, they just rushed straight at the enemy, didn't allow any time for skirmish units to fall into play. And with the good cavalry micro of their teammate, of Kings of Crown's teammate Radman, using his cav to get into all the skirmish lines, the Fallen Kingdom guys weren't able to move their skirmish units out of the way, and their melee units just weren't able to stand toe-to-toe. There's only a few units left now from Fallen Kingdom. Looks like most of their units here is just the Parthia that should have probably engaged from the start, but there really wasn't time. With the terrain of this map, all these hills, he couldn't really get a good harass in. Now charge is going onto the last noble archer here. These units, these hoplites trying to hold on for dear life while these archers were shooting in, but it's too little too late here. Now it's just going to be cleaning up here, and I think that's going to be the end of the battle here in a second. Last Parthian soldiers trying to make their last stand here. Gonna charge in. Surprised they don't put their shields up in defense. That Onager, though, did pull off a lot of kills. It ended up getting almost 400 kills. And that whole time, King of Crowns was just advancing straight towards them. Fire javelins, and that's a victory. So the first round, or the first battle, is going to go to King of Crowns. And like I said before, this is a best 2 out of 3 round robin style.